Good morning. It's Robert Young. We're a few days into earnings season now in April, and this is earnings season from the first quarter of 2019. Today is the 17th of April, and I want to bring you up to speed on a couple of things that are going on right now. Next week, I'm actually going to generate my May newsletter a little bit early, obviously about 2 weeks early, and an additional video on an update on a couple of your stocks, a couple of positions. But today's video, I wanted to focus on a very specific area, a very specific stock. But before we go into that, just a really quick recap. Remember what we do. We find companies, good companies, that have gotten into trouble or fallen for a bit or have gotten a bad reputation or something's occurred that has caused people to think that the company is in demise and they have sold out of the stock and the stock has fallen, and then we research that and we go out and we buy that stock after extensive research and analytical reviews and contacting the company, and then we wait. And oftentimes our patience is rewarded very quickly, depends on the size of the company, and sometimes it takes a while. But remember, we do not love anything we are in. We're not emotionally invested in any of those things. But what do we love? Well, I'll tell you what. We love our partners, right? We love our spouses, our life partners, right? We love our kids, right? All right. Don't forget Sasha. Okay. We love our friends, right? So here we are. Love our friends, right? Those are the things we love. Stocks, yeah, temporary. We're going to date you for a while, and as soon as you're on your feet and you're doing well, we're going to wish you the best and empower you to move forward, and hopefully we'll catch you at the right time. So pretty. Apple. We picked up Apple earlier this year, actually as it was, the 28th of December, while all y'all were sitting around drinking eggnog, celebrating with family. Because I have no life, I'm in the office, I'm looking, I'm watching the demise of the market, and I see Apple go down tremendously. And Apple went down to $1.50 a share and vacillated in that area, and I pounced. You know why I pounced? Because that's what we do. We hunt, we find the opportunity, and then when the time arises, we take it, and then we harvest it when it's ready. Yesterday, we harvested. This is a breakdown of the timeline we were in. 28th of December, I purchased it in your accounts. Now, not everybody got this. You know, $150 a share is quite an expensive stock. So we have to be careful. Plus, do we buy one share of stock at a time? No. Do we buy 10 shares at a time? No. We buy 100 up. So in this case, I picked it up between 149 and 152 a share. I sold it yesterday when it crossed over the $200 mark. Earnings season sort of lifted it up. Held it for about 3.5 months. If I bought it for you at $149 a share, you made $51. You made a 34% gain. Remember, we are looking for the 20% gains. That we are very satisfied with that. If I bought it for you at $150, you made a 33% gain. $151, 32%, and $152, you made 31%. Percentages and those dollar amounts look great, but here's what it really looks like. If you have 100 shares in your account, I took $15,000 and invested it. As of yesterday, it was worth $20,000. While you're sitting around eating Cheetos, watching Dr. Phil on the couch, you now have $5,000 more in your account. If you had 200 shares as I was, we put 30,000 in, you now have 40,000. 300 shares, you now have 60. If we had 500, we took 75,000 and you now have 100. And then finally, for those people with 1,000 or more, we took 150,000, invested it, you now have $200,000. That is what we do. We don't hold on to something long term. because there are other things to consider. As bright and as shiny as this apple look, oh, here we are, there's also other parts of it you may not see. Oh, rot, concern. Apple is a good company, but there are some very real concerns that they are not innovating new products. They are innovating existing products, but they are not bringing new products to light and to the market. I don't think the company's going to go out of business, and this is not the first time we have been in Apple. Earlier in 2018, in February, we picked it up for $155 a share, sold it 6 months later at $192, made $37 a share, basically a 24% gain. Now, the question is, are we going to be in Apple again? Probably so. This is a long-term chart, the last 3 years of Apple, and you can see the number of times, as always, this is a 2-year chart, the number of times it has dipped to the 150 mark. It's been 3 times. And it's crossed over the 190 4 times. So there have been plenty of opportunities for us to buy in, hold it for just a few months, make a quick dollar or two, and then get out without hurting ourselves. That is the plan. There are some people that want to hold on to it for whatever reason because they believe long term. But I will tell you this, every analyst report that I've been looking at, and by the way, I want to thank very much, sorry, I almost said his name, KT, for bringing to my attention an HSBC analyst report, a revised report on Apple, and it got me thinking that maybe I should restructure. Initially, I was going to sell it at $225 a share, but I felt that my ego was getting involved on that. And rereading analyst reports, most have redefined it as a hold. There are a few buys out there, but most place it at around $200 a share, and it takes about 12 months to get there. Many of them put it at about $143 a share. I assure you, if at some point in the future this drops down again to 150 or below, we will own it again and ride it back up. Again, there are some very positive things with the company, but innovation-wise, it's going to be a challenge for earnings going forward. Anyway, that's it. I wanted to bring you up to speed. We are out of Apple. It is out of your account. You have made a minimum of a 31% return in essentially 100 days. Just to give you a reference point, in the same time period, the S&P 500 has only returned 15.97%. You doubled the returns of the S&P 500 in the same time period. So that's it. Just wanted to bring you up to speed on that. If you have any questions or concerns, please give me a call. A couple of you reached out that you wanted me to break that trade and put Apple back in your account. That's being taken care of. 9:31 this morning, it'll be done. But for the rest of you, we're going to take our profit. We're going to sit on the sideline. We're going to wait for another opportunity to present itself with our new money. We're going to buy and we're going to build up, and then we're going to, maybe one day the time will be right and Apple will fall again and we'll pick it back up again. We'll let that little fruit get all nice and ripe, and then we'll pluck it and put the cash back in your account. Thank you very much. Have a great day. Next week, I'm going to give you an update on what's happening in earnings season, some of the positions we're unwinding, as well as letting you know what our thoughts are during the summer months and a potential for up to a 10% drawdown. All right, thanks so much. Talk to you soon.